Are you a forex trader and this past week you tried to buy the euro dollar just to see it move even lower when you thought it could move no lower? Or perhaps you tried to sell and it snapped back against you this week. Well, if this is you, stay tuned for the weekly forecast and hopefully we can get you trading in the right direction for this upcoming week. Welcome back to the Profits in Pocket YouTube channel. I'm Slim Hunt, and before we get started, let's check out this week's upcoming high impact news events that we should be aware of. Okay, so coming into Monday, if you trade any Canadian pairs, you have a bank holiday, so volatility will be low. For the US dollar, around 10 a.m., late morning New York session, we have ISM manufacturing PMIs, and at 11, Fed Chair Powell will be speaking. So towards the London close time frame, we will be expecting some volatility Monday with any dollar pairs. Tuesday, for the euro, we do have a German bank holiday. For the US, we have the JOLTS job openings at 10 a.m. And again, that'll be late New York morning, which would be London close. So we will have volatility expected. And that's around the time I trade. I usually trade late New York mornings, London close. So I can expect some volatility around 10 a.m. When we go down to Wednesday at 4 a.m., which is the London session, which I don't trade, as you all know by now if you've seen any of my videos. But if you do trade it, ECB President Lagarde speaks. At 8:15, it is ADP non-farm employment change. In 10 a.m., we have ISM manufacturing PMI. So we're going to have some decent volatility. The ADP non-farm payrolls is not the same as the actual non-farm payroll, so it won't be as much volatility as we should see Friday, but it will be a pickup and some volatility around 8:15. And again, at 10 a.m., late New York morning, London close, we have ISM services PMI. Thursday, we have unemployment claims at 8:30. Nothing after that. And again, I trade euro dollar. That's what I specialize in. So I only focus on euro and US dollar high impact news. And Friday, of course, is non-farm payroll day. At 8:30, we will have the non-farm payrolls release. I usually don't trade very volatile days like that. So I'll be on the sidelines just watching price action. And that's what we have upcoming this week for high impact news events affecting the euro US dollar. Okay, so starting with the dollar index, as we always do, we want to start with the dollar index first, just to give ourselves an advantage of any pairs we trade with the dollar in it. And we hit our target last week, which was here. So we hit that pretty early in the week. I was expecting more of a retracement down, but we got right to it. Soon as the week started off, we pretty much hit our target. So once price went up to where I expected it to go up, during the beginning of the week, I took most of my trades. After that, I just sat on my hands, as I mentioned in the last video. Once we hit our target, we'll just sit back and wait. So that's what I did. Took some trades early in the week. We hit targets. And as the dollar retraced back, we just kind of watched the markets just to see if price wants to start reversing now. But we didn't get much of that on the weekly, but it did in normal fashion come off its high some, as it usually do on a Friday. We usually make a high of the week and then we come off those highs. As you can see, which is why we was left with this wick. This week coming up, my low hanging fruit a target. And you know, every week I have a low hanging fruit target, which is pretty much a target that usually when I'm doing my trading, I find easy for prices to get. And after we hit those targets, I sit on my hands into the next week and I evaluate what happened during that trading week. The 107.27 level, if the dollar is going to continue higher, that's where I expect to see prices run to, the 107.27 level. And if prices does get to the 107.27 level, we could see price want to reverse or prices could go further up, ultimately trying to target the 110.42 level. That's 110.42, but that's like a super aggressive target. My low hanging fruit target that I'm comfortable with seeing if the market shows signs of going higher, it would be 107.27. Let's go down to the daily for more detail. So as you can see, as projected on our charts, this line here, and I'll just make it darker. This was our weekly low-hanging fruit target. Monday when we opened, we got right to it. We got right to it. Tuesday and Wednesday as well, we got a good push in the dollar index. And then as you can see, Thursday and Friday, we fell off those highs and retraced. So what can we expect for this upcoming week daily-wise? So we have this level from the weekly right here that I'm circling with my cursor as our low-hanging fruit target if prices will continue higher. Monday, I probably use that day to kind of gauge what price wants to do. If it does move higher, we could see a move down. And honestly, I wouldn't want to see prices close below this previous high here, projected forward. I wouldn't want to see prices close too much below that if we're going to continue higher. If prices does close below this previous high, projected forward, which is this bold line here, if we get a close below, a convincing close below here and price continues to move lower, I do have a short-term target of 105.38 and an aggressive target of 105.07. So like I said, if we get a convincing close below the previous high of 105.89 or just round up to 105.90, I'll target short to 105.38. We could get a more aggressive target of 105.07. And that's with the dollar index. Let's head over to the euro dollar. Okay, so the euro, you can see with our annotations from last week's forecast, we hit our target and our aggressive target. And once we hit our aggressive target, you see the market pull back, which is why I say once you hit your targets, just sit on your hands. It's not a trading contest to see how much you can trade. We're trying to make money, sit on our hands, and reassess the situation. We'll get rid of these annotations and kind of look forward to the upcoming week. So we do have relative equal lows now in the weekly. So if the dollar does continue to push higher, we can expect the euro to move lower, taking out these relative equal lows I have circled here. So this week price could open up and attack those relative equal lows if the dollar is going to move higher. So if we see strength in the dollar, that could be what I'm expecting for the euro. So if price wants to rebalance last week's sell side imbalance, we could see a push up to the 106.15 level. That's 106.15. And what we could see is prices push up to this low of 106.15, make another move lower. So low-hanging fruit for the euro would be 104.83. 104.83 would be low-hanging fruit after we possibly rebalance to the 106.15 level, and we could possibly make a run for the 104.83 level. That's 104.83. Now let's go down to a daily chart for more detail. On the daily chart, we can open up retest Friday's high, which was the 106.17 level, and our rebalance is the 106.15 level. So anytime Monday or Tuesday, we most likely get a push to retest Friday's high before prices make a run lower to our 104.82 level, which is our low-hanging fruit target in the Euro USD. And that's pretty much our forecast for this week of what I expect to see going forward. If prices are going to reverse from here and move higher, I want to see a convincing close above the 106.72 level. I'll then start looking at lower time frames to see if we'll get market structure breaks favoring bullish price action. And that's what we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you'll never be in the dark about what to expect for the euro or the dollar index going into the next trading week. Please like this video if it was of any value to you. I'll see you next week, and we'll recap this week and make a forecast for the following week. Trade safe, and together, let's put profits in pocket.